Today we're going to talk about writing the equation of a line. There are several different formats that the equation of a line can take on. The first of those is called standard form. It looks like ax plus by equals c. For instance, 4x plus y equals -7. An equation written in standard form has the x and y on the left-hand side and the constant on the right. The next type is slope-intercept form. This is the form that most folks are familiar with, and it looks like y equals mx plus b. It's called slope-intercept because you can easily tell what the slope and the y-intercept are. For instance, y equals 4x minus 7, you can easily tell that the slope is 4 and the y-intercept is -7. The final type is called point-slope form. Point-slope form takes on the form of y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. It's really useful to graph with or to write an equation with when you have a point and a slope. The equation y minus 5 equals 4 times x minus 3 is an example of an equation written in point-slope form. What's most important here is that all of these equations, while they look very different, are actually the equation of the same exact line. If you were to graph each of these three, you would have the same exact graph. In our first example, they ask us to write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. They tell us the slope is 2 and the y-intercept is 6. Slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. Our slope is 2, our y-intercept is 6. So I plug them into the equation and have y equals 2x plus 6. That's in slope-intercept form. Next, they ask us to write the equation in standard form. Standard form looks like ax plus by equals c. I simply take the y equals 2x plus 6, and I subtract 2x from each side. So now I have -2x plus y equals 6. Because the x and the y are on the left-hand side, we now have an equation that's in standard form. Our second example, they ask us to write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. They have a slope of -1/3, a y-intercept of 8. Then they ask us to write the equation in standard form. Please pause the video here and write those two equations. Let's see how you did. Y equals mx plus b is the form of a slope-intercept equation, and we plug in the -1/3 and the 8, so we have y equals -1/3 x plus 8. Ax plus by equals c is an equation in standard form. I need to get the x to the left-hand side, so I add 1/3 x. I now have 1/3 x plus y equals 8. Example 3, they ask you to write the equation of a horizontal line in slope-intercept form with a y-intercept of 2. I recommend constructing a little graph here, and that'll serve as your guide. Notice it's a horizontal line that passes through the y-axis at 2, so the equation is y equals 2. Very often, a little sketch will get you a long way. Please note that this is really the equation y equals 0x plus 2. Slope is 0, which is a horizontal line, while 0x plus 2 is really just 2. So y equals 2 is our equation. The fourth example, please give this a try. See if you can write this in slope-intercept form and in standard form. Let's see how you did. Here we have a y-intercept of 0 and a slope of 1/2. So we have y equals 1/2 x plus 0. Because plus 0 is really not necessary, it's like saying you're 15 plus 0. We don't really need to say the plus 0. We can just say y equals 1/2 x. To move this into standard form, I'll subtract the 1/2 x from each side. -1/2 x plus y equals 0. Example 5 asks us to write the equation of the line displayed in each graph. To write the equation of a line, we need a point and the slope. If you have the y-intercept, that's certainly the easiest point to use. In this case, our y-intercept is right here at +1. we also have our slope. Our slope is up 2, right 1. And so my slope is 2, my y-intercept is 1, y equals mx plus b, y equals 2x plus 1. I can also write it in standard form by subtracting the 2x, so I have negative 2x plus y equals 1. Please pause the video here and write the equation for the graphs that follow. Let's see how you did. On the second one, we have a y-intercept of negative 2 and a slope of negative 3/4, down 3, right 4. Therefore, my equation, y equals negative 3/4 x minus 2. If I write it in standard form, I have 3/4 x plus y equals negative 2. Next up, we have a slope of 0. We have a horizontal line, y equals negative 4. On the next three, we have a slope of negative 2, down 2, right 1, and a y-intercept of 4, y equals negative 2x plus 4, and in standard form, 2x plus y equals 4. 3/2 is the slope, negative 5 is the y-intercept, y equals negative 3/2 x minus 5. Standard form, negative 3/2 x plus y equals negative 5. And finally, we have x equals 1. If you have a point in the slope, you can actually approach the writing of the equation in a couple of different ways. The first option is to use the slope-intercept formula, y equals mx plus b. We begin by identifying the slope, which is 4, the x value in our ordered pair, which is 3, and the y value, which is 5. I can plug those three things into y equals mx plus b. I plug them in and I solve for b. I get that b equals negative 7. Therefore, y equals 4x minus 7. Slope-intercept is a familiar way to do it, and it can be pretty handy. There's also another way to do this, however, using the point-slope formula. Point-slope formula simply says y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Again, we identify the slope, and we identify x1 and y1, which are in our ordered pair from our point. Now I simply plug the numbers in. Y minus y1 becomes y minus 5, m is 4, and x minus x1 becomes x minus 3. These equations look really different, but they're actually not. They're the same thing. If we take the y minus 5 equals 4 times x minus 3, and we do the algebra, we use the distributive property, and then we move our negative 5 over, we find that you actually end up with the same exact equation. Just two different ways to write the same thing. Finally, let's write this in standard form with the x's and y's on one side. 4x plus y equals negative 7. So negative 4x plus y equals negative 7. Number 8 is for you to try. Please pause the video here and see how you do. Written in slope-intercept form, we identified our slope and our x and our y value. We plugged it into y equals mx plus b, came up with b equals 2. Therefore, y equals 2x plus 2. Using the point-slope formula, I identified my slope, my x1, and my y1. I plugged them into the equation, and I have y minus 4 equals 2 times x minus 1. Finally, in standard form, I have negative 2x plus y equals 2. Standard form's easiest just to take your equation and move your things around. Number 9 is an example of where you really wouldn't want to use slope-intercept form because it's going to be quite inconvenient. We have a slope of 47 over 99, and the point we're given is 37.221 and 99.9183. Putting this in y equals mx plus b and solving for b would be a real pain. However, I can just plug them into the point slope formula, y minus 99.9183 equals 47 over 9 times x minus 37.221. And there I have a perfectly valid equation of a line that I can put into a computer and graph. And so it was much simpler to do that than to deal with the slope-intercept. Sometimes we're given 2 points. When we're given 2 points, what we need to do is a little bit of work. In order to graph a line, we need slope and a point. First thing we'll do is find the slope. I'll label my points x1, y1, x2, y2. And I'll plug them right into the slope formula, simplify my fraction, and I end up with the slope of -5. So now I have a slope. Now I can use the point slope formula. It doesn't matter which point I use, you can use either one. I happen to, in this case, choose 1, 6. I plug them in. Y minus 6 equals -5 times x minus 1. And then I went through and did the algebra, and I have y equals -5x plus 11. The line has a slope of -5 and a y-intercept of 11. If you had used the other point, the 3, -4, you'd have gotten the same equation. You can try it out and see that. Similarly, you also could have used y equals mx plus b. You also would have gotten the same answer. So here you really have several choices. It's up to you how you want to proceed. Our final example today is for you to try. We'd like for you to write the equation of a line that passes through the points -6, -5, and 1, 4. Please pause the video here, then come back and we'll see how you did. Let's see how you did. First, we found the slope. The slope was 9 over 7. Then we chose one of the points and we plugged them in with the slope to the point slope formula. Again, you could have used y equals mx plus b as well, but I just thought the point slope formula was a little bit easier to use. Once I did the algebra, it came out to be y equals 9/7 x plus 19 over 7. The slope is 9 over 7, and the y-intercept is 19/7. When writing the equation of a line, you really have a lot of choices. There's 3 forms that we have: general form or standard form, we have slope-intercept form, and we have point-slope form. You need the slope and a point. Once you have that, you could write any equation that you wish. And this is everything you need to know about writing the equation of a line.